There are new trends towards smart solutions, and Mauritius is not immune to them. Based on those trends, how smart do you see Mauritius?
Before giving my opinion on how smart Mauritius is today with regards to the adoption of smart technologies, I would tend to quickly give my opinion on how I think Mauritius started this journey. And I think we did start, we did take some bold steps. At least there's a sensitization around the need to be better, to be smarter, and to be more competitive in this global landscape. Whatever is happening worldwide, actually, it's happening quite violently in other spheres of the world, in other geographies. We've still been a bit protected from the main impact of digitalization and technology in organizations, in industries, in economies. We're all talking about Industry 4.0 nowadays. It's all about being more efficient, being smarter in what we do, deliver better. And Mauritius is not spared from that, won't be spared from that. We have had some impact already in certain sectors, but Mauritius is known for its resiliency. At times we are frustrated because things are not going as fast as we wanted it to. But I think it's the responsibility of all stakeholders, from public to private, to bring their share and contribution in that transformation of the island of the country. Yes, Mauritius can be smarter than what it is now. I personally think that we can go faster, much faster, in terms of adoption, in terms of changing the organizational culture of different organizations, be it public or private, like I said. But despite being on the right journey, despite being on the right roadmap, I think we do have some delays in what we needed to achieve by now.
What are the best breed technologies for a project like Smart City?
The fact that we talk about smart cities, the tendency is very strict. I mean, we talk about smart technologies, but what really are smart technologies for smart cities, and what's really a smart city from a technology perspective? It's actually using technologies to manage the main components of such a project. And the main components generally are energy. It would be mobility. It would be the residential part of it. It would be the whole management of the space. It would be the whole technology around security of the city. So technology plays a fundamental and quite a horizontal kind of role in managing a smart city. And the main things that people tend to look at are the energy efficiency, the energy management part of it, which comprise the waste management part of it as well, the water management, the power management, the utility management part of it. When we talk about security in itself, it's integrated security. How intelligent are our security solutions for a smart city without it being invasive in life of people? So it asks lots of intelligence in the software layer to be able to give that kind of efficient management of a smart city. We talk about simple things, mobility in a smart city. But how should it be? What about the parking management in a smart city? Right? What do we ride in a smart city as a transport, as a medium to move in a smart city? I mean, from energy to security to transportation and mobility, even to healthcare in a smart city, right? How do technology accompany such a development? The good thing about all this is that these smart technologies, which are today available, which are today being used worldwide, are already today, I would say, explored by a company like ourselves, where we can come to these projects, to these project developers and promoters, and see how we integrate in this kind of venture. And the great outcome of such a collaboration between technology companies and providers with promoters of I would say property development projects or developers is that it brings the notion of well-being. It ultimately impacts on the life of people. And this is actually the very mission of Harel Mallac Technologies as well, to impact on the life of people positively. And this is where we think technology has a great role to play for years ahead.
What are the flagships projects undertaken by Harel Mallac Technologies?
HM Technologies is known for quite a number of contributions it's done to different sectors in the economy, from private to public. You're surely aware of the project we did for the National Assembly, where we digitalized the whole I would say process there, from the live broadcast system to the digitalization of the handsets, and this is something we achieved successfully, and we're quite proud of that achievement. Actually, it's been a landmark project for assemblies in Africa. It's the first National Assembly in this continent, Africa, which carries such a level of technology. And recently we're still on that project. We are progressing very well. It has been launched last week, which is a national e-licensing system by EDB. And Harel Mallac Technologies is part of that project. And our team is quite glad to be part of such a transformational project for the country. And those are projects that would be and will remain flagships for a number of years, and could be used as reference for other countries in Africa as well. Apart from those flagship projects from Harel Mallac Technologies, I should also mention today the fact that we're talking about smart cities. Other subsidiaries of Harel Mallac Group, such as Correct Solar, are today doing projects in renewable energy, which will be very much applicable to smart cities. We are also into water treatment and water management, where we have achieved all the projects at national level, and which today would be again applicable to smart city projects. And I should say that we are jointly putting ourselves together to approach those kind of smart city projects, and we'll be happy to be a key player in the development of such projects happening in the country.
We're talking a lot nowadays of the 4.0 revolution. How would you characterize cybersecurity and technological risks a country like Mauritius may face?
That's quite a vast question. It touches a number of points. First of all, 4.0. Yes, Industry 4.0 relies a lot on the capability of technology and how technology will automate the way industries produce and output their goods and services. And this has become an accepted, and now I would say, practice. And this is where companies like us go and accompany clients and in assessing and designing their processes by leveraging on technology available nowadays. And one concept that is used in designing nowadays solutions for, especially in the era of 4.0, is design thinking. What design thinking is about having the proper conversation with the client and gathering its needs via understanding its vision, where he wants to go, what he wants to achieve. We're no more in the age of selling products. We're in the age of listening to clients, conversing with the clients, understanding what they want to achieve, and then we're gonna design the solution as per that requirement. So this is one aspect of it. And when we talk about technology nowadays, it's more and more based on data, right? For systems to be smart and efficient, it needs to carry a lot of data analytics. And when we talk about data analytics, it talks about storing those data, right? And then mining those data to get information out of it, to be able to take logical actions. And as you know, today we are giving machines the power to learn, we're giving machines the power to analyze, and we're giving the machine the power to even decide. So this being so, this is where the element of security becomes important, because there's a lot that has to do with data and storage of data and analyzing of data. So we need that element of security over data. So these two things will grow side by side. As much as we're going to push on data, the power of data, we need to push on the element of security as well. So those two things will have to go hand in hand. And this is where the major industry technology leaders worldwide are emphasizing on at this point in time, and will be the case for the future.
Some industries have resisted embracing Internet of Things technology out of security fears. Do you see this behavior changing in the near future?
I will tend to have quite a blunt answer to that. I would say we won't have much choice. We won't have much choice. As much as people used to talk and apprehend the cloud, where our data would it be in the cloud? Today, everything is moving in the cloud, without even realizing that our simple emails, like Gmails that we've been using for decades, they were in the cloud. So we already accepted something. Similarly, all the commodities be it from household appliances to company using the systems, will be based on captors and sensors, which is fundamentally what IoT is about: capturing information, sensing what's happening in our immediate environment, physical environment, and further today, even in our body. So IoT is something that can only be good for mankind, society, enterprises, and country. But of course, it has to be done ethically. When I say ethically, today I can say us HMT being in the industry for the last 30 years, we grew along with other world leaders who are today reference in technology. I think today there are enough of charters in place, enough of associations in place, enough of legislation in place to ensure that we are doing things responsibly and ethically when it comes to data and data privacy. So IoT, I don't think we should resist it further, and it's going to be a main component of smart cities, right? They will need it for efficient management of the smart cities. We should embrace it. We should embrace it with all awareness of its weaknesses and strengths. And we should work with the right partners to know how to implement it and to secure it, right? So we should be very open if we want our country to move that step further. And this is where HMT is going to assist and accompany more and more the local ecosystem, and also where we're present regionally as well.
Where does Mauritius position itself compared to African countries when we talk about IoT technology?
Well, I have a tendency to say I don't like comparing Mauritius just to Africa many times. It's good because we are part of it. At the same time, we're not just part of Africa. We should also benchmark us with what's happening with the rest of the world where we are related to and concerned. But coming back to Africa, I should say that we can say we are quite satisfied or happy or contented with what we've achieved so far vis-a-vis our African counterparts. But it's not enough. Because if we observe more closely, countries like Rwanda, countries like Ghana, countries like Botswana, they are adopting now technology at a much faster pace than what we're doing. And I can even say there are areas where we're even late, where they're in advance. If I talk about mobile payments, for example, as an adoption, as a practice, Rwanda is today very far. Many countries in Africa are going on mobile for many transactions. And IoT right now, even us, HMT, we are involved in a project in Kenya where it's talking about smart solutions, talking about IoT. So things are moving at a quite rapid pace. Africa is today opting for leapfrogging strategy when it comes to adoption of technology. So Mauritius can't remain just proud or contented. We need to react much faster. We want to